What's up, y'all? It's your boy Vinnie-Dangerous back again with another installment of 1430. I am the dummy that decided to have a live stream during the NFC and AFC championships. So anybody that does come swing by the stream, I really appreciate you, diverting your eyes from the NFL for just a tiny bit to join me and the homie Southside Jus as we talk about albums that we feel are perfect. Um, so before I bring them in, uh, I would like to just, throw this out there. I wanted to ask y'all, like, how you like this format. So I'm thinking about keeping this format of having the show, only stream on Twitch live, then, loading the full episode on YouTube. Like I think it works out pretty well. Just kind of keeping both platforms circulating, and I'm able to have guests on the show if I just do Twitch first. So but I would like to get y'all feedback. So definitely let me know how you feel about this. But let me see if he's connected yet. All right, showing the stream. Yo, what's good, man?
Yo, what's happening? What's going down?
Hey, not much, man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I got my boy with me, Southside Just. Yo, how you feeling, bro?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good, my brother. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I right before I put you on stream, I was talking about how I wasn't looking at the calendar, and I had the dumb idea to do a live stream during the AFC and NFC championships. But I was like, you know what? If anybody that does want to swing by, they want to watch it on YouTube, like after the fact, I appreciate it, regardless.
Please do.
Yo, but how you feeling, brother?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good, man. Just trying to enjoy this little bipolar weather we got here. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
excited to talk about these albums, man. Super
Oh man,
excited.
me too, man. Like this was a conversation. It just kind of popped in my head one day, and I hit you up on a text, just like, "Yo, what do you consider like perfect albums?" And we had like this really dope off-stream conversation, and you were like, "Yo, this would be a perfect podcast conversation." I was like, "We
For
got,
sure.
we got to do this." And I like, cause
Oh
I
yeah.
hit you with the question, cause I was like, I know if anybody will appreciate this question, it'd be my boy Just. So,
Oh yeah.
so like, okay, so before we get started, like with our list, I just wanted to clarify, right? So my idea of a perfect album, when I talk about perfect albums,
hmm
albums that no matter how you look at it, from a technical standpoint, songwriting standpoint, sequencing, features, like everything, it there's nothing that you could change. Like it's literally perfect as is. There's literally nothing you could add to it or take away to
Right.
improve it, or it's like it's perfect exactly the way it is. And like when you think of it like that, because I'm a stickler, as an artist myself. Like there's always just that little something, or like that one song, or sequencing thing. Like this song should have been first. This song should have been like 15th on the
hmm
track list. Like I've always been like, all right, a stickler about that stuff. So when I can listen to something and be like, nah, I wouldn't touch it. Just leave it exactly how it is. Like
Right.
literally don't change anything. Like that's when I'm like, okay, this is a perfect body of work.
hmm Same, man. And although I feel like nothing is perfect. The list
Hmm.
of albums that I chose for me, represents bodies of work that I feel like, um, they're albums that I've listened to multiple times. They're albums that I feel like even if I do feel like there's a flaw, the flaw isn't great enough for me to say this deems it from its quality or its worthiness as an album. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the five that I've chosen, I have two that to me are some of what I would call the gold standards of their genre or of their time. And the others I got are, to me, I call them hidden gems. I feel like these are albums that people must listen to for sure.
Mm. Okay. Okay, I like that. I like that. Cause yeah, like I mean, there's always something, anybody, one person can listen to it and find it perfect, and then there's other people that's like, even the albums that I'm talking about, there's still a little something there, but like at that point, I feel
Right,
like I'm nitpicking, and then
right.
even then, I'm like, it doesn't take away for how like incredible these albums are. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off because we both picked five. Like we had like
Right.
a long list, but I was like, for the sake of time, because I know like
Hmm.
me and you get to talking, like we get real passionate about this stuff. So it's like I know like we would be up here talking for 3-4 hours if we don't pare it down a little bit.
Hmm.
So I picked five, you picked five. We talked about it a little bit off camera just to make sure we're not talking about the same stuff. So because that would be boring. But yeah, I'm gonna kick it off with an album that was at the top of my 2023 list. So I could go ahead and get this one out the way since I did like a whole word vomit on that last stream of 2023 about it. Sanfa's uh damn, what's the name of the album? I don't forgot already.
Five,
Lahai.
Lahai,
Lahai. Yeah.
Lahai.
Like it literally escaped me that fast. But yeah, like and that's kind of what inspired the thought because I've been singing this album's praises since it came out back in October.
Oh yeah.
And like, first of all, have you heard it yet?
I still haven't heard it, bro. But the praises that you giving them makes me want to check it out for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, literally, it's like on title, it shows you like the artist you've been listening to more than anybody for that month, like at the end of the month. And like, he's been number one since October. Like, I can't stop listening to the album, like, from top to bottom. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, like, his album process came at a time where I was kind of going through a lot of the similar stuff he was talking about, and this album came out, and the kind of the place in life after that he's in is kind of similar to what I'm the place I'm in my life. So there's that
Mm.
personal connection, but like an album that literally made me like rethink music like when
Mm.
I heard it. It made me really because it's a wholesome album, and you don't really get a lot of that, and especially in the dark times that we've been in lately. I just feel
Mm.
like it was, and I think timing also does play a factor in how you feel about certain albums. Because like I feel like this album landed in my life exactly when I needed it,
Right.
and it just spoke to everything from being a father to just kind of like discovering yourself after tragedy and things like that. Like it's a lot of, and just well produced, well sung, songwriting, like everything about it is just phenomenal.
Hmm.
So yeah, man, definitely check that one out. That's like, cause I promise you, I mean, I was like, I ain't bought a CD in forever. I think the last album I
Mm.
bought was also another album that I'm gonna talk about, so I don't want to spoil it. But and that was years ago. Like I said, I have to buy this album. I need I need a physical copy of this album. And
Mm.
like that, something that make you feel like that in the streaming era, like is definitely something that like I feel like deserves high praise.
For sure, for sure. It's on me,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can go ahead.
man. Man, the first album I'm going to talk about actually just celebrated its 10th anniversary,
Yeah.
and that is the seminal debut of Chattanooga, Tennessee's own Isaiah Rashad and Sylvia Demo. And man, that album, I mean, that came in like a golden era of Top Dog, but that really was such a surprising, soulful, thoughtful,
Hmm.
real, just I mean, I could go on and on about that album for days, but it really hit me in a spot, man. I think where I resonated with it. It told tales of growing up, being from the South, the homages to Scarface with Brad Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
or even Outkast with West Savannah featuring SZA, or even Isaiah's rapping is still some of the best rapping I've heard in the 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
The production with relatively guys that he was around in Tennessee and that collective is an incredible. To me, it is a perfect album. It is a perfect debut.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a song, and if you're looking for substance, a song like Heavenly Father is right there,
Mm-hmm.
which is all in itself a beautiful record about fatherhood, growing up, and things of that nature. And it's very touching. And I mean, even, for all the lyrical miracle folks, you got Shot You Down with Schoolboy and J Rock. You got the remix right there at the end. But for
Mm-hmm.
me, I want to end the discussion on this album and talk about the record Brad Jordan.
Yeah.
My God, that's for my money, one of the best rap records, hip hop records I've heard last decade. It is an incredible, and I mean an incredible, I want to say 3 to 5 minutes worth of rapping.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah, for it to be his debut, for it to be his first ever music project he ever made, you can feel the influences, the southernness of it. You can feel the it felt like home, and that's the
Yeah.
best way I can describe Sylvia Demo. Congratulations, Rashad. And man, he seemed one of the most kindest, humble, one of the most well versed cats in the industry, man.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations on 10 years.
Yeah. Congrats, yo. Like, cause you and we talked about this before the stream. Like, I was surprised you put that on there, but I listened to it not too long ago, and man, it was like, and I felt like I listened to it like every at least once a year, like almost. And man, every time I hear it, like it sounds so refreshing. Like, even
Man,
now, like that's 10 years after it's been released. Like it feels so refreshing to hear.
it
Like
doesn't feel
so,
dated.
nah,
Man, it don't. There's certain debut rap albums I feel like, especially from the South, that some of them still sound a bit
of their time.
of their time, like But Sylvia Demo feels very nostalgic, but it's not. It doesn't delve into the nostalgia that it hinders the sound of the project.
Yeah,
You still listen to it today and be like, man, it sounds really good. And I was just super proud of that dude. Always been one of my favorite artists.
yeah. Like, oh, because you were talking about the Brad Jordan track. That's one of my favorites. But my favorite track, and the one that really like hit me and made me like have to run it back, was R.I.P. Kevin Miller.
Oh man,
Yo, that shit. And I think I was riding home from work. I put it on. I'm like, all right, Webby Flow was dope. What's the song before that one? Uh, no, that's title track, Sylvia Demo. The title track.
weed and money.
And then I heard that one. That shit
You
had
come
me
for weed and
rocking,
money.
man. Bitches and
What?
blunts, you niggas, weed and money.
Mm, oh my goodness,
Yo,
dog!
man.
That shit to me is an undeniable classic LP.
That nigga said, back when Percy was the king, back when Juvie was the great,
It was
hit this
great.
Juvie, this debate. I was like, oh, yeah. Like, that, like, that was the song, because I was like, this nigga sound like, that's why, like, when I listen to Juvie, I'll be like, yo, that nigga sound like my uncles and shit from Laurel Hill.
Kevin Miller, Kevin Miller is the record that it felt different
Yeah.
hearing it. Like it was like, okay, when that came on, it was like, oh, we got some. At least for me, I'm like, oh, we got something special right here. We got something special with this project right here. Man, did we fucking ever?
Man, yeah, and that was another one. It's like I listened to that. I didn't think I like it when it came out in 2014. Like I knew I loved it, but it wasn't
Mm,
until like I was going through some shit because Isaiah Rashad is like really personal with his stuff. Like I like that he can kind of delve deep and talk about certain shit that like a lot of other people wouldn't talk about in their
yep.
personal lives. And like I just remember like I remember exactly where I was when that album like really hit me. And I was in my car with a Four Loco in the parking lot and just listening to that shit on repeat. And like that's just kind of like it just defined like a certain period of my life and kind of got me through some certain shit. So I'm like, yo, and when y'all saw that on your list, like I was like, I appreciate that.
Yes,
Cause
sir. Yes, sir. I had to talk about it because it was it's the anniversary of it, and I really think it's time to continue to go on. I think that project is a very, very underrated, but it needs the proper flowers and recognition that it's due. Because
mm-hmm,
I think, especially also given to his prolonged bouts of not dropping any music,
mm-hmm,
that album kind of stands itself out as a very big testament of like creative expression
mm-hmm,
from the South at a time where the South leaned a lot more forward thinking with the sound of it and the 808s. And of that time, Isaiah kind of went back, which is a knock against an artist like Big Crit. But I think what Isaiah did was the nostalgia. It didn't sound overtly Southern,
yeah,
but his voice, his cadence, how he talked, it was so undeniably and unmistakably Southern that it just carried through.
mm-hmm. Like he spoke to everybody, but you knew where he was coming from. You knew he was coming
Mm-hmm.
from the South. Like
You was from the South, you know exactly what it was.
shoot, man, and it was dope that he was on TDE, especially because they were like one of those premier labels where where lyricism and like real rap came from. So being from the South and being able to stand toe to toe with people like Schoolboy Q, J Rock, Kendrick and stuff, it's like he representing for us in a dope way, and that was dope.
Mm-hmm.
And like so, speaking of Top Dog, I was like for my next album, and I'm gonna be real. I sent you the message, but I've thought about it, and I saw this really dope video from this YouTube channel called Digging in the Crates, and it really made me think about it more. So I decided to change the album that I picked for this one, Kendrick Lamar. But instead of To Pimp a Butterfly, which was one I was gonna talk about, I decided to go with Good Kid, Mad City.
Man, you can't go wrong with either.
Yeah, like the only thing, because we're gonna have another one, right? We're gonna call this. It's gonna be like a little bit of a series that we're gonna do for like these kind of like perfect lists. And I have my almost perfect album, and I think To Pimp a Butterfly might end up on that one. We can get into
Mm,
that one more, during that stream. But I think I might switch to that for a couple reasons. But Good Kid, Mad City though, just the storytelling,
mm,
like the songs individually are great, but like as this whole story, like this cinematic experience, there's other artists like Biggie with Ready to Die, um, even like
mm.
the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, where there's like this not a story but a continuous theme, and like it really feels like like they're really painting a vivid picture with the whole project, not just a few songs. And
Right,
like I don't think it's ever been done on this level, like through from a top to bottom album, where it feels like I'm watching a movie like Boys in the Hood, like I'm watching a Menace to Society all the way through. Like every song is like a chapter that fits the story being told like so well, like from top to bottom. And like there were certain songs where at the time I didn't get it, like real. I wasn't as big of a fan of. Um, maybe not the biggest fan of like Poetic Justice because it just kind of felt like it was a radio type of track. But watching that video, I'm gonna send it to you, and I'm gonna also put it in the link in the description when I put this on YouTube. But like the way that
Mm.
he broke it down, then I went back and listened to the album with a lot of the stuff in mind, like why those songs represent like but like play their
Yeah,
part in the bigger picture. It just really like
it fits the complete cinematic narrative he told,
mm,
and it set the table, man. I think we knew Kendrick was a special artist
Mm-hmm.
from Section 80 and overly dedicated. I think what he did with Good Kid, Mad City, I had a similar experience to you. I didn't like swimming pools when I first heard it.
yeah.
I was like, as a single, and that it's funny that tradition went on until damn. But
Mm-hmm.
when I heard swimming pools in the context of the album, my mind was like, whoa. And I mean, money trees,
Yeah.
the art of the art of, I mean, that runs from backseat freestyle to the art of peer pressure to money trees to poetic justice to good kid to mad city
City.
to um, golly, what is after mad city?
No, after Mad City, swimming pools,
Swimming, yeah, mad city swimming pools.
and then
Then
Sing About Me.
think about, oh, I cried the first time I heard "Sing About Me."
I
That
did
is
too.
one of the most touching, touching hip hop records, man, I've ever heard. And it's the third verse for me that encapsulates everything that I think makes Kendrick a very, very special artist. And man, even the bonus tracks, if you listen to
Oh, the
the
deluxe
bonus,
version.
the love versions with,
Yeah.
I mean, with Black Boy Fly, dog, that album, it it has the critical acclaim for a good reason. It
Mm-hmm.
has the commercial appeal for a good reason. That is one of the absolute greatest pieces of music that has ever been released in
Period.
human history. And I think that just it didn't matter if you was from Compton, California, or you was from Livingston or Lombard, North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
or Fayetteville. You understood a lot of what Kendrick was talking about, and just the fact that this was his debut. He had all this hype around him, and he went and delivered.
Not only
Oh man,
delivered, but like it's one thing to meet expectations, exceed expectations, but also to like redefine like there's very few albums that you could go back to and go, this changed the trajectory of music, right? Like everybody was trying to
yeah,
do the album long story, album long theme after that. Like he really cracked the code on like having a message and also being commercially viable too. Like,
yeah,
I'd probably say the only other person like I feel like Cole got it later,
yeah,
but like I feel like Kendrick really perfected it. Like it was like I can
yeah,
have a message and also like have a number one album or the longest running album on the Billboard charts. Like,
ever. And
like
it's funny that you say that because that leads into my next album, which was his former label mate, into me, a direct predecessor, spiritual successor of Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pepper Butterfly. And my next choice is Schoolboy Q's The Blank Face LP, released in 2016. And I promise you, that was my most played album in 2016. I would I went as so far to say I personally think
mm-hmm.
it is one of the 2 to 3 best albums ever released on Top Dog.
Mm.
I would for my money, I would put that album up with the absolute best rap projects that came out of the 2010s. It didn't have the commercial success that
Mm-hmm.
Schoolboy made up on it, but from a excuse me, from a critical music standpoint, that is a magnum opus that I think few, very few guys have reached since. Very few.
Mm.
Man, from the features were great. Even the song that I thought that was particularly not the most well fitting, which is Overtime with
Yeah,
Justin Sky and Miguel, it still is a great record. But my God, it does not overshadow John Muir. Um,
that's my shit. That's my song right
John Muir too. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I'm just jumping around. And I mean, I I played Tuki Nose Part Two so much
there. Yeah,
I can't even. I from a guy that is a Hoover Crip. It's from South Central LA. Like there was so much about that album that hit me directly at a time where I felt like it spoke to me in a different way. And I mean, my God, Schoolboy was rapping
yeah.
and held his own with heavyweights like Jada Kiss. I
That's
mean,
what made
hell,
me a believer of like Schoolboy's pen for real. That was the album that really like turned my opinion around about him being a lyricist. I already thought he was dope. He can make dope songs, but that was the when I was like, oh, he really came to rap for real, for real.
he took it. Schoolboy took it up to a level with the Blank Face LP that I truly think that I really feel like people should go back and listen to that project, man. I
Hmm.
mean, there's so many gems on there, and just even the rock with Ride Out with Vince Staples. I mean, he's going to war with dudes that people would consider some of the best cats in the genre.
Yeah.
X1G, man, I'm telling you, the Blank Face LP is easily, I would argue this to the cows come home. It's easily one of the best projects of the 2010s. And it's easily for me, one of the best, very best projects to come out of TDE. It is the creme de la creme of Top Dogs Entertainment discog for sure. And I don't even think it's close.
Yo,
I
I'm gonna
don't
have to
even
go
think it's,
back. I'm gonna have to go back and
I don't
listen to
even
it.
think it's close to me how just how special that is. And to me, probably the most defining special piece of it is it's so fucking West Coast. It is it's West Coast to a point where I can appreciate the regionality that he stuck to and committed to. And I'm a big fan of homages. Like he got a record with Dog Pound on there. That
Hmm.
is incredibly dope. That is incredibly. I mean, Blank Face LP, man. I can go on and talk about that. That's my second choice. An amazing project.
Yeah, and I like that's again that was another one that surprised me when I saw it on your list. Cause I'm gonna be real, I didn't like that album, or not that I didn't like it, but it took me a minute to get into that album when it first dropped. But when it hit me finally, I was like,
Mm.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it because out of all the albums we about to talk about, that's the one I probably haven't gone back to as much. But I'm definitely about to do my homework and get back on it because like from what I remember and from the songs you named me, I'm like, yo, that was dope. Ride Out was dope. Overtime, I loved Overtime when I first heard it. John Mayer, Tukey Nose. I'm like, all right, you know
Oh
what?
my
I'm gonna have to
god.
go back. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that one for real.
Nothing but heat rock. I mean, just he was back to 1,000 at that time, man, and it has the cinematic piece to it. It is not an overt theme like a lot like a Kendrick album would be, or but it is a loose connected thing well enough where once you start to dig into it in a track like By Any Means, which really explains the thesis of this album, of the Blank Face LP and what the album is actually about, then it's like, oh, it makes so much sense.
Hmm.
And I think, I love that album. Love it. It to me, it is an absolute perfect LP. Perfect.
All right, you got me ready to do my homework. Shoot, man. But yo, one. So for my next album, right? 'Cause I was
Mm,
trying to like narrow my list down. I got a few, I got a few. So I was like, let me just narrow it down to five, and I had to talk about this one because just
Mm-hmm.
like the Blank Face album is like severely underrated. Like I would feel like even the people that know, right? But there's a
Right.
lot of people that do not like when they talk about greatest hip hop groups or greatest hip hop duos. Like they don't bring these guys up. And when I say that this album from top to bottom is just phenomenal, like really people do not understand how great the Minstrel Show by Little Brother is. Like everybody that love that album, I feel like there even people that love that album do not understand like how just well put together. Like when we talking about like the Kendrick album, where there's like an overarching theme, right? Like Blake Face
It's a
album, there's
descendant
like a
of
Lucy character. Like just them being able to take a concept like a television broadcast
it.
and
You be in network.
UBN network and like being able to ride that theme in a way that it all connects. They have like an underlining message about it, and like it just ties together so well. Like it accomplished, like it goes above and beyond to accomplish like meeting, getting the point across and like get setting the theme and like making sure that it's fully fleshed out. And like every song hits. Like when I think about albums that like the lyrics that have stuck with me all my life,
Mm-hmm.
like the song "All for You,"
Mm.
man, those are some of the like most heart wrenching verses from Pooh and Fonte, especially Fonte's verse. Like just like yo, how could I be mad at you? I did the same thing. Like what's the line? It was like, well, I'm laid up with a woman. I'm gonna make my wife. How we gonna make a life? I'm thinking about child support, alimony, visitation rights, because that's the only outcome if you can't make it right. And I like
Mm.
that kind of shit. Just stuck. Like I'm. This is like '05, so I'm like 12, 13, listening to this, and I'm like, that shit stuck with me. Has stuck with me all the way up until my 31 year. Like that's the kind like lyrics that really like fed me as a person that like kind of prepared me for life and like songs like loving it, slow down, the
Yeah.
dope song with Percy Miracles, cheating, just like because they got the humor in there too, and like every single beat, every single uh feature, like I mean shoot, the dope song with like Fonte and Elzai going back and forth on I think it's Hiding Place. I can't remember the title and the name of it right now. Uh, it's like where you gonna hide.
I think it is. Like I can't think of. I can't think of it off the top of my head too. But
Like next
what
level lyricism on that on like a
next
lot of the
level
songs.
everything.
Next level
Next level
everything.
everything. I mean, they took it to a place where, man, it that album was so dope. I mean, you can trace it through the biggest stars we got in hip hop today and why people love Little Brother. It's
Mm-hmm.
like Little Brother, the DNA of Little Brother is all over modern hip hop and all over our biggest stars, as in Cole, Drake, Kendrick, even artists like Doja Cat,
Mm-hmm.
even an artist like Nicki Minaj and other acts from the South. I mean, Fonte, Pooh, Knight really set out a course, and it's one of the best sophomore albums
Mm-hmm.
in hip hop history. It it made me proud to be from Carolina when that album came out. Hell, man, that album got them one of my favorite TV shows on the Boondocks, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boon, like I mean,
Yeah.
it was so fire, dog. It's one of the most innovative and forward thinking albums. It set the table, and around that time, I mean, it set the table for acts like so many other acts that came forward from them. It set the table for it. an artist like the Cool with Lupe
Mm-hmm.
for that type of rap to be commercially viable. And they were on the same label, I believe. I think they were both
Yeah.
on Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they took a chance and they were. I mean, God, it was so good, so good.
And when I
you
think
know what
of,
I'm saying?
because like I was talking about before, like albums that really make you like this shift the culture and really make you rethink music, right?
It's a
Like
genre defining album.
I listened to that album and I'm like, man, they took something. I can't even, like like because they were not like because I'm so used to conscious rappers, right? Like the idea of a
Right.
conscious rapper, like even you got the conscious rapper, you got the street rapper, you got the political rapper or whatever, and the party rapper, but like they were just like regular dudes,
They
and
were
they
human.
yeah, like they were like your boys down the street. Like everybody else is like no matter what category you try to put them in, everybody was kind of like perceived as like larger than life. Well, like
Yep.
Fonte and Pooh always kind of came across as like regular dudes, but like in a
Yeah.
dope way. They make regular life sound dope.
hmm
And like I feel like that's even more impressive because it's like it's real easy to make the street sound dope, like sound like like Scarface and shit like that. You talking
Right.
about political worldviews, like that's bigger picture type of shit, and that's
Right.
I feel like that's easy to come get that message across. I mean, when you do it the right way, but it's a little easier to get people interested in it when you got the talent. But to make regular life seem dope, like Fonte just talking about being a father and having kids and like wanting to, just be the best man he could be in his music. Like same with Pooh, and it's like, but these guys are just making it sound so dope, and like but they make want to be a dad and a father sound dope, and like that was kind of like changing my idea of like, oh, it don't have to be all of this other stuff. Like my life, when I'm doing it the right way, I could be a regular dude and make that shit sound hot.
Yeah, man. That and it's shown when you get the blog era that comes up a few years later.
Mm-hmm.
Little brother were ahead of their time
Oh yeah.
on so many levels. So many levels. Influenced so many artists. They, like you said, they were humorous. They could fucking rap their asses off.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me for cursing. They could
No, you
really,
can cuss, bro.
really, okay, okay, they could really, 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 really rap. And they were from the South.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have known it. And Night gave them a soundscape that was like, where the fuck are these beats coming from? This is some next level shit here. And so, yeah, dog. I mean, perfect. My next album, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to the next one. I would say he's a descendant of the little brother Ninth Wonder Tree and had Ninth Wonder production on his album. That is Malibu by Anderson Paak. Another 2016 entry. 2016 was a pivotal year for me musically.
Yo, that was a phenomenal year. It's
I want to say one of the last physical albums I bought. Man, I mean, my God. When I first heard The Water featuring BJ the Chicago Kid, not even The Water, when I heard Your Heart Don't Stand a Chance,
yeah.
I remember going, I said, who the fuck is this? It was so soulful, so raspy, so damn. Sound like he was chewing on a damn brick at times. But Anderson's voice, it cut like butter. It
Mm-hmm.
was such a. It's Malibu is one of those albums to me that is genre bending.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a special project for to me one of the best artists on earth. To me and Anderson Paak, one of the best musicians
Yeah.
on earth. Then him and the Free Nationals. They to me that was a tour de force. I
Mm-hmm.
had heard of Anderson before, like a few years ago, few a years prior to that, maybe like 2013. I had first heard
Mm-hmm.
him. Man, when I heard that Malibu album, the song that got me, I mean, Room in Here. Oh man, you got Room in Here. I mean, Come Down, The Dreamer, bruh.
Oh, the
I
Dreamer,
mean,
man.
Lightweight.
Oh, I
We can
forgot
end the
about
whole
that one.
thing. Lightweight, one of my favorite R&B records of the last decade. I played that song. I played that song
Hold on, I'm about to pull
to
up
my
the track
damn
list.
ears hurt. Man, there's no reason to be afraid. No time to be lightweight. Oh my, what? I remember I took my
Oh,
youngest sister, took my little sister to see him in concert. It was a Big Teeth tour. All the other songs, I was like, yeah, 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 that's cool. Man, am I gonna hear lightweight? I will play that song 20 straight times. It to me is such an incredible. Man, he got to the end of that concert, dog. I was just standing up. I was just crying. At the end of the concert, bro, that shit so damn beautiful, bro. I was like, Malibu, an important album. Not as important to me as the last two albums that I'm gonna bring to the table,
yeah.
but it's super perfect, perfect album to me.
Like real quick, I was gonna say because I was like, I of all the ones on your list, that was the one that made me go, yeah, like oh man, because I heard that one, because I remember, and this is why I get my little philosophy. Sometimes I'll be catching, because I had never heard Anderson .Paak, right? But
Mhm.
I just saw the album cover and was like, this looks interesting. I want to check
Look
it out.
interesting, right?
And like from the jump, the bird,
Nigga got a turkey with
yeah, he
a
got like a
bird,
top
a
hat. It's
piano
like
playing on a lady.
this
It look like he ain't got no
beautiful
pants
like
on.
painting. Yeah, it's like this beautiful painting in the background, like
It's
set. I'm just
reflecting. It's
like,
reflecting like a motherfucker. It's like, damn, who this dude?
yeah, let me check. And then I heard the bird. I was hooked. Just straight off the
Oh man.
bird at the very beginning. Yo, the song with Schoolboy Q again, like that
Oh,
song. What's that one called? Am I wrong?
am I wrong?
And then parking lot without you
Um,
with Rap City. It's like this, like from two to 10 is like the perfect run of songs. This
dog.
just
When that nigga came out and said, when he said, I be catching you saying, be careful, the item mine is a dangerous place to be left in, but keep your eyes on me
me,
and stop, because your heart don't stand a chance.
man.
And cut it out, dog. God almighty, bro. What? Well, you
Oh.
preaching in this, bro. You preaching in this, dog. Man, that shit, bro. When I first heard that, and it helped, man. When I heard them do it on the tiny desk, oh, bro, I
Shit,
lost my mind,
you about to make me watch that Tiny Desk again. 'Cause that's one of my favorite
man.
Tiny Desks.
Oh man, what a album, dog.
Bruh.
What an
When
album.
I saw,
Oh
because
my
then you be like, dang, you try to think of it, and then when you said
god.
that, I was like, I don't know how I did not think of that one. I don't
There's
know
not a
how I didn't
person
think of
on
that
the internet that said, man, I don't like this. I played it. I would get into it. I remember when I bought the disc, I wore that damn physical disc out in my little Corolla.
one.
What?
Oh
I be
man.
going to work at Target, and to me, it was feel good music.
Mm-hmm.
It felt good to hear.
And you know what's dope about? Because this is my last point, and I'm gonna get to my next album. But like about the
Yeah.
Anderson .Paak, did you say? Because you said it was a genre bending album. It's a
Yeah.
genre bending album that don't feel like a genre building album. Like he's able to like all these different genres that he's playing with. He's even got a little bit of dance in there. He got soul, he got funk, he got a little bit of rock in there. Like and it seems so seamless. Like it all
Nigga
fits
rapping.
together without, yeah, like he rapping, he's singing.
He don't sound like he ain't good at nothing. It's like, damn, this nigga can do everything. It's like, what the fuck? Then you hear, yeah, he played the drums on all of this. It's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
hold up. What can't you not do, bro? Like, what?
Like yo,
Are
I'm
you that
never, I'm
gifted?
not a hater at all, but like just motherfuckers like him, they can basically do everything and do everything
I
like
hate that.
phenomenal. It
I
made
hate
me hate
that.
on that nigga a little bit. I be hating on him a little bit. But yeah, like okay, I'm gonna get to my next one because I'm like, all right, we can talk about like I said, that's why we had to pare it down to
All day.
five because we were
All
talking
day.
about all of these albums all day, and we were talking about phenomenal debuts, like your first time hearing it. Like you can't talk about amazing, you know, basically change
Talk about it.
niggas like be
Talk
niggas was
about it.
rapping like the 80s. He brought
Talk about it.
everybody like he's the blueprint for lyrical rap, like lyrical rap albums to me. Nas, Illmatic, man. I can't do
Yo,
a perfect albums list without talking
without
about Illmatic.
that shit was so ill. Ghostface and Raekwon called this nigga the golden child.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much they revere him. And was like, yo, when he came out, he was different. Man, Ghostface is a nigga I don't want to see in the streets. Yo, what up, Ghost? For them to give that dude that kind of respect and adulation tells you
Means something.
how incredible. It was the dog. Think about it. The first rap album that included multiple producers, and it was the
Multiple
best
feature.
of the best in New York City. The hottest niggas in New York City. The best dudes.
Yo, album so great that like literally he can't put out anything without it being compared
Gotta be
to that
prepared.
album. And like, I mean, man, what can you say about this album? It's like it's One
10
Love.
tracks.
You got New York State of Mind, The World Is Yours,
Oh my
It Ain't
god.
Hard to Tell, Represent, like a perfect top to bottom body of work, a perfect encapsulation of New
New
York,
York City.
of the like the 90s. Like literally there's a before Illmatic, like this, because they say that about a lot of albums, right? It's like there was the before Illmatic, niggas was
Which is
rapping
absolutely
like Cool G rap and CL Smooth and stuff like that. Like it was still dope, but then you get after like everybody started to switch their flows up and like was rapping, did like the laid the blueprint that still follow like this. When people talk about 90s hip hop, they talk about boom bap, like they are emulating Illmatic. Like I think about 1999 by Joey Badass, right? I listened to that album. That is like the sound that everybody was chasing. That is Illmatic.
bruh. I mean, uh, Nas was in such a different atmosphere, bro, with Illmatic in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Illmatic is it's like an old New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And to think, what was Nas, 18, 19 years old when Illmatic came out?
Yo, he was a high
Oh,
school
yeah.
dropout.
What
High
up,
school
kid?
dropout
I
putting
know
out
kid
some
just doing your bid. When the cops claim you should have slid to my crib, fuck it, black. No time for looking back. It's done. Plus, congratulations. I heard you got a son.
son.
I heard he looked like you. Why don't your lady write you? Said she should visit. That's when she got hyped for. Riffing and talking about he asked too well. She didn't listen. He be riffing while I'm telling this stuff. I was like, yeah, Shorty don't care. She a snake too. Fucking with them niggas from that freight crew that hate you. But yo, guess who got shot in the dome piece? Jerome's niece on her way home for Jones Beach as well. And plus little Rob is on the silly. Oh my God. At nighttime is more trife than ever. What up with Omega? Did you see him while y'all together? If so, then hold the fort down, represent to the fullest. Say, the herb life and bullet. I left for half a hundred in your commissary. You was my nigga when push came to shove. One luck.
No.
He had niggas like Q-Tip and Premier saying, "Yo, I was trying to see who beats him better." It said the blueprint for how albums were made after that.
Mm-hmm.
Now it was like it made a nigga like Puffy say, "I got to get my own squad of niggas." Because a nigga like Nas can get the best of the best. And Nas was so ill. Illmatic was such an ill album. People was getting the cassette tapes a year before its release and was like, "Nah, this is the hottest shit in the streets."
Yo, I mean, I don't even really know what else to say, man. I don't even know
Ain't
what else to
nothing.
say. It's just like it's just the perfect debut. Like it's the blueprint for everything else that we all the other hip hop albums I talked about. This is the blueprint for that.
Speaking of sophomore, speaking of hip hop albums, speaking
Mm-hmm.
of New York City, Tribe Called Quest, The Low End Theory. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Rhymes check, beats check, classic hip hop singles check, classic posse cut check, classic hip hop quotables. Industry rule number 4008. Record company
Record
people are
nigga
shady.
shady.
It is out of the native tongues movement. You have amazing albums from Brand New,
De La
even
Soul.
even Queen, De La Soul. Even Instinctive Past, Tribe's first album was a tour de force.
Mm-hmm.
The Low End Theory, they took it up to another level. Five Dog was some of the dopest and illest sports references. Q-Tip took it up another level rap. You have the introduction or the coming out party for a hip hop legend by Busta Rhymes
Mm-hmm.
on Scenario. You got Check the Rhyme, which is one of the greatest hip hop singles. And also it single handedly reinvigorated and it reached jazz and hip hop.
Mm-hmm. We got the jazz. We got the jazz. That's my favorite track.
Dog, the low end theory is so dope. It influenced one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time on the other coast, which is the Chronic.
Mm-hmm.
Drake said, "Nah, the reason why I wanted my shit to be heavy was because I heard Q-Tip and the drums was heavy on We Got the Jet on the Long Wind Theory,
Yeah.
right? Dog, what else can you say, dog? Q-Tip, Ali Shaheed Muhammad, Fife Dog, rest in peace to the 5 foot
Rest in
assassin.
peace.
I'm telling you, it changed my life. That album there. There's not enough that I can say about what that album means to me personally, why I think it's perfect, why I think it's absolutely deserving. If there's a Hall of Fame spot, it's one of the 10 best rap albums ever made.
Yeah.
Bar none.
Bar none, bro.
I dare to say it's one of the 5 best rap albums ever made. It is a perfect album. It was fun. It's fun. It has social commentary.
Mm-hmm.
It has, I mean, just classic, man. And it's just like, and it was a different side of New York too.
Mm-hmm.
Nas gave you the gritty, the street side. Sean Chris gave you the nigga who might have wore a little fly, a little polo or something, X, Y, and Z, and then they it's just Sean Quest low end theory, perfect. 5 mics out of 5 mics. There's a reason the source labeled it a classic
Mm-hmm.
upon its arrival. And the album came out on my birth year, 1991. It is the subject of You Came to Me. Midnight Marauders might have been a step above. You can't say, you don't get Midnight Marauders without having the low end theory.
Cause I was about to ask you that. I was like, which one would you? Cause I agree with everything you're saying, but
Right.
but just personally, I've always preferred Midnight Marauders.
And I get why people do.
Yeah.
I even personally prefer Midnight Marauders just as a sonic landscape.
But I
But
wouldn't call that one perfect. I think it's
impact,
yeah,
impact, all that. The low end theory. That is a absolute pivotal. The low end theory birth groups. I mean, you don't. To me, the
But you
connect
don't get the
between the low
low.
end,
You don't get Kanye West without the
you
low
don't
end
get
theory. You don't get
outcast in a way. You don't
yeah.
get outcast. The connective tentacles into what the low end theory did. You don't get a lot of this stuff, dog,
Mhm.
without the low end theory and what it represents. It was two dudes. They were like normal dudes that you see at school, hanging out. They like sports like you do. They like women. They chilling. Everybody cool. They
Mhm.
might play video games like you do. It gave birth to all of that. We don't see even the dealers, the most deaf, the comments. You don't
Yeah.
see a lot of these things without Q-Tip,
Mhm.
Ali Shaheed Muhammad, and Spice Dog, and Jerome without the low end theory.
Mhm.
Hold on, before you go, I got to do it one time. Now here's a funky introduction of how nice I am. Tell your mother, tell your father, send a telegram.
Telegram.
I'm like an energizer buddy because I last
Looks
long.
on.
My crew was never ever wet because we
We
stand
stand
strong.
strong.
I ain't keep famous dollars right this where you're dead from.
Wrong.
I slay that body and surrender to push it along.
Wrong.
You be the fool to reply to fight is not the man.
Right.
Cause you know and I know that you
You
know
know
who I
who I
am.
am.
That's why a special shout out piece goes out to all my pals to see. And a middle finger goes for all you punk seeds.
Babies.
Cause I love it when you whack and see despise me. They get vexed on next on and contrives me. I just apply and see who fought for the music every brave. What, bro? What? What? When I first heard that as a kid, my mama put me on. My mama put me on the trial. She saw them at North Carolina Central University in 1989.
Oh,
When
that's
I was a kid, she was like, hung out with them. She was like, I love Q-Tip. She put me on. The rest is history. I was like, I ain't heard nothing like it since. I ain't never heard like it. Ain't heard nothing like it now.
yo. It's so dope that like some of these people are like often imitated, never fully duplicated. Like
Excuse
you
me.
can't
Yeah.
duplicate a low end theory. You can't duplicate a trial called Quest, man. It's
No, no, man, you can't do it, man. And if you try to, your whole perspective is whack. You can try, but you can't. You can't duplicate them dudes, man. Them dudes are legendary for a reason.
facts.
Legendary.
And yo, so for my last album, right, I was like, I was talking about there was a before Illmatic and an after Illmatic, right? So how do you get bigger than that? That phrase comes from Michael Jackson's Thriller. Are we moving away from hip hop? Like this is probably like one of the few non hip hop albums that I think like inspired me as an artist. And like
Man,
nobody was doing it like Michael. Michael laid the blueprint for everybody, not just hip hop. Like it's just, I mean, not just pop and R&B. Like pretty much everybody since has been following the Michael Jackson Thriller blueprint.
real quick, dog.
What?
The album was #1 in America for 37 weeks out of 52
Two.
weeks. 37 weeks. He spent 10 months out of the year being the #1 album in America. That is a
It's
level
still
of
the
perspective.
highest selling album of any genre. It's the of all time of everybody. It's still the highest selling album of all time.
Like, real quick, bro, we know the singles, right? It's
Yeah.
Thriller, Billy Boone, you know what I'm saying? The Paul McCartney record. Bro, the man got
Human Nature. Human Nature is
NYC.
like a perfect song to me. Like that
What?
is like it's so like Human Nature is so perfect as a song that people I have not heard anybody that took that sample and ruined it. It is just like it's so
You can't
perfect that
wrong with it.
like anybody SWV Nas, like anybody that has sampled that song has made a classic or made a
It's
great
made the
song out of
song
it.
better.
Yeah, like
How the
you
sample song make your song better? The sample was like, I mean, You got PYT. What? You got lady of my life. Huh?
What's
Bruh.
oh man, it's I mean, and then you got you got Thriller, you got Beat It, you got Billie Jean, like every song. I mean, wanna be
This
starting
motherfucker.
something.
He kicks off the album telling you, Mama say, Mama sa, Mama cause we don't know what it means. We don't know what it stands for. It's provocative.
Oh,
And
and
it's
then an underrated track, "Baby Be Mine."
oh,
That song is
if you want to know how ill that song is, look up DMX dancing to Baby Be Mine.
oh shit. I've never seen that.
Like what? Baby Be Mine. What? Bruh. And girl, I give you all I got to give. Oh my God.
Like, yo,
No,
he has an album full of songs that anybody would have killed to have for their single. Like,
it would have been number one any year they dropped. Number one.
exactly.
An album of hits, dog.
And like it just
Oh
he
man.
just seamless. It just seemed like Michael Jackson was a whole nother beast. Him and Quincy Jones together is like the greatest
Magic.
performer producer combination I've like
It don't
we've
get
ever
better than
seen.
that.
It don't get better.
It don't get better than Michael and Quincy, man. I mean,
I mean, what can you really say? I mean, it's a and like I said with the Nas album, it's like there's really not a lot you can say about this
Thriller.
album that hasn't been said. It's just Thriller. Like
You just say Thriller. We all know what it is when you say, oh, Thriller.
yeah,
It's Thriller.
and like
Man,
young, old, no matter what your background
anybody
is,
could dance to
everybody
Thriller.
knows Thriller.
Anybody.
And like yeah, it's for good reason. It's not a single like I mean, it's literally the perfect masterpiece. Like you couldn't touch that. Anybody try to add a song, take away a song. Like there's some people try to dismiss like Lady in My Life. I don't know why. Like but that song, I mean that track is so iconic. It's another one that's been sampled like a billion times and is never really missed. Like
So, last joint, I'm gonna end it, man. Which to me, it was Rolling Stones and Rolling Stone Beautiful Gifts, but it was ranked as the greatest album ever made by Rolling Stone, greatest LP before Marvin Gaye was going on took the number one spot recently.
yeah.
It is to me the magnum opus of the greatest 10-year stretch any musician has ever had in modern history. I would say since 1900, or since modern music was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
My last pick for to me, and this to me is the definition of a perfect album. It is 1975's Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life. In the midst of the greatest stretch of music by this 10-year period any artist to me has ever had,
Mm-hmm.
Stevie is not only my favorite artist, I objectively think he's the greatest artist in American music history.
I believe it.
And Songs in the Key of Life is a double album, and dog, I Superstition, Sir Dude, knocks me off my feet.
That's
I mean, those four, five, four records on the first disc, Love in Need of Love Today,
mm-hmm.
and then to me, the second disc contains to me the greatest love song ever written, as.
Oh yeah, as
And I will cry anytime I hear that record. I think that album is perfect. I think Songs in the Key of Life is the culmination. The Stevie was on such a run. Anything It's like how Nas's Illmatic is.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie was so dope, man. Songs in the Kid Life is such. If you want songwriting, you have it. Musicality, you
Mm-hmm.
have it. If you want, production, you have it. If you want sequencing,
You
you
have
have
it.
it. And if you, my last point, the amount of songs, records that have came from this album in itself is incredible.
Yeah, man. Like
So,
as soon as
yeah, dog.
that was the one album like from your list. I was like, I know I'm gonna get that one. No, I'll get that one. And you the one that really put me on to how great this album was. I not realizing like I heard these songs before, knew exactly exactly what they were, but I'm like I did
Hmm.
not realize they all came from the same album. You would hear these songs like at the cookouts. You would hear the songs like your grandma play it,
One
your
album,
mama
dog.
play it, and they all from the same album. Like these are iconic. Like when you think of black music, like you think of oh, you good? Hold on, I think okay,
I'm
hold
good.
on. Okay. But yeah, when you think about like just iconic black, like I think about like some of the most iconic moments, like you think about movie scenes like from some classic movies, like the most wholesome or like just encapsulating like just the black experience in a wholesome way. Like I
Yes,
it's soundtracked by Stevie Wonder and it's soundtracked by the music on this album.
man. I'm telling you, dog. I'm telling you.
Like when I hear Stevie Wonder, I think of Black Prosperity. Like when people talk about that, like I hear a Stevie Wonder song in the background.
I think of Black Magic
Yeah.
when I hear Stevie Wonder. It brings out an imagination, a sense of wonder, no pun intended,
Mm-hmm.
sense of just joy. I mean, Stevie went on to have he has classic records before, he has classic records since. That is the perfect culmination of what to me art is about.
Mm.
Art is about the expression of our human existence and human life and the stories that we have that we walk through human life, the emotions that we share, the things that connect us as people, the collective humanity that we have. And I think on everything, man, that album defines that
Mm.
collective experience so well and so beautiful. And last thing I say, man, the album is rich,
Yeah.
and it is rich into me the most valuable possession that we have, and it is rich in love. Not necessarily positivity or everything, but it is rich in there's a loving spirit that Songs in the Key of Life possesses that I guarantee you if you hear any of these songs, you will smile, you will cry. The damn album got Isn't She Lovely, celebrating the birth of a newborn child. My
Mm-hmm.
God, how much better can it get?
Man. Yo, I damn, that's a great point to end off of, man. Like you like if you was like if they needed to put that album out right now, we needed somebody to be in charge of like the marketing message.
Give
Yo,
it to
give it like that's what I said, give it to you. Cause like
give
that
boy,
made me want to listen to the album like right now.
give it to your boy, cause I'ma do it right.
Well, yo, there you have it. Like our 5 albums that we felt are perfect. I want to thank my boy Southside Jus for joining me, man. Like this was a great conversation. Like you one of the few people I like. I feel like I can talk about music that make me feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. like And like, in a good way though, because I feel like I be learning from you. Like, so I appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having me, my brother. I appreciate it.
Hey yo, and make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you leave a comment below. Let us know what you think of the conversation. Let us know what albums that you feel are perfect. And yeah, man. But until next time, it's your boy Vinnie-Dangerous, my boy Southside Jus. Till next time, much love.
Peace.
Oh, the confetti and shit too. Oh, that's dope.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I'll let you, bro.
Yes, sir.